for it. You do the intro.
Hello and welcome to the biggest race in the country right now, the Ulster Swifters Chase Race. Last time I checked, 437 people had signed up, but I think there's even more now. We are live on Kinning Cycles YouTube channel and WinMac PC's Facebook page. And also, go easy on us here, this is our first time streaming and commentating. And there's lots to do. I'm not alone, Ross Blaney is here with me, he's the main man behind the Ulster Swifters. Say hello, Ross.
Hello, Ross. How's it going, Mark? Thanks for the introduction.
All good. I'm going to just basically turn it over to you here and you can tell us about tonight's race, Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks for having us on anyway. Bit of crack, bit of fun, adds a wee bit of highlight to a boring Swift live stream basically, because if you're not a cyclist and not on the Swift, it's totally pointless watching one. I used to tell you the truth, it's not the most exciting thing in the world to watch, but hopefully we'll have a wee bit of a commentary to help you get through the whole event. Tonight's race, this is the third edition of our TUZ Chase Race. We went live 2 weeks ago. We were basically doing the races on a meetup option via the companion app. You're going to be 100 riders, so it started to get really busy on that. So we started pestering Swift, and they eventually gave us a race. So this is the third race. We're on the Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop. It's quite a hard course, to tell you the truth. It's the first two rounds we were on were pretty flat. So this has a climb in it. You're talking about 3 to 4 minutes for a normal person to get up. So I reckon the bunch will split the bits in all the groups. The race itself basically is it's 29 kilometers in length and distance basically. So you're talking about 1.5 laps, and we've got a hilltop finish on the climb the last time up.
Sounds fantastic.
Better to be watching rather than racing.
Definitely. There's 4 minutes 20 till the D group starts. So do you want to talk about the new league that you're doing?
Yeah, no problem at all. We've got a new league starting from next week. It's a TUZ. It's our first ever league, basically. TUZ Winter Racing League. It's an 8-week league, basically. Every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. There's going to be a race on. We're still using the chase format, the handicap format. So you've got 4 groups. D group go off first. So many minutes later, C group, B group, and then finally the fast boys in the A group. Your best 6 rounds will count in the overall league, so you can miss a couple of rounds if you can't make it, for instance. We're going to have teams and individual results. I've had quite a lot of questions about the team competition. It's pretty basic. You can have as many on a team as you want, but your top 3 from each round will count towards the team competition. There'll be team competition in every category, so A, B, C, or D. There are Swift teams on Swift itself, obviously Fast Swift Power, but we're trying to encourage obviously club teams to come along and give this a rattle as well. So for instance, my own club in Bangor, North Down Cycling Club, we're going to be putting in a wee team as well. With a mixture of riders, D riders, C riders, B riders, I think with maybe 1 or 2 A riders. So it'll be good fun. Best 3 across the line, score the points. There'll be an overall category for obviously A, B, C, or D individually, and then there'll be the overall competition for the chase format as well. There'll be a league for that, so that'll be open to everybody. Starts next Wednesday, 7 p.m.
So let's hope.
We'll see how we get on.
If everybody likes this stream, I'll do more. If everybody says it's rubbish, I'll get to race it. We have 2 minutes roughly to the D start. I'm just going to get the screen sorted out here. If Ross has anything else he wants to say while I'm doing that there.
Basically, for the league itself, guys, if you are going to take part in the league, it's important you sign up to the Swift Power. It's a third-party website. In fact, I've just been told it's owned by Swift now as well. But it's free to join up. We're going to use that as the base the rules on as well. It has a really set format for rules in Swift racing. So it's important you weigh yourself on a set of scales, not in your head or when you were 20 years ago. Put your correct height in it as well, and go from there. Basically, set yourself up an account. Join one of the Swift teams. If you've got a club team, make sure you join the TUZ as well. It's also Team Ulster Swifters on Swift Power, and it sort of takes care of all the results for us as well. There'll be updates posted on the Swift Power website of all the different rounds. You'll be able to see who's entered beforehand. You'll be able to see we call it the naughty list every week, basically who's entered the wrong category, basically. In other words, who all the sandbaggers are.
I did see
if you're an A rider, you shouldn't be riding the C.
28 in the wrong category tonight.
Well, when I looked just before we came on air here, there were 32 in it.
Oh, it's went up.
For goodness sake, how hard is it to look at your Swift profile and see what category you are?
I also seen a few A riders in the C groups.
I seen that myself. There was a few wee messages sent, private messages sent around from a few boys, and hopefully the guys doing it have wised up.
Right.
We're trying to make it fair. I know Swift racing can be a bit of the Wild West, so keep it as fair as we can.
Yep. So I'm going to transition over to the main screen, and hopefully sound and stuff's good.
Good stuff.
15 seconds to go. My job here is to click on the rider. So we're just following each rider. You can click on anyone.
There's some amount of riders here. I'm seeing 56 riders so far in the D category.
Right, here we go, we're off. I just seen someone flash up 9 watts per kilo, 9.4 watts per kilo.
That's strong for a D cap.
These boys aren't holding back here.
Not at all. Mr. Chapman here, putting the hammer down from the gun.
He's gone.
That's normally the hardest thing with the Swift races. The first 5 to 10 minutes from the start are the hardest you'll ever do, basically. It's a wee bit like riding a cyclocross race. It's just so hard. You're basically, you get a countdown. You can join it in the starting pens from up to about 15, 20 minutes beforehand. You can go in, you can warm up in the starting pen. And then it counts you down 10 seconds down to 0, and then it's just go. Yeah. It's not like a normal race where you're starting from a standstill. You're pedaling.
Yeah,
the best way to start is.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You just cruise off in a normal.
The best way is. Very much so. Right. Yeah. This is totally different. This is flat out from the gun. If you're doing your watts and they get off the line in a good position, you need to be doing plus of 350, 450 watts to even start with, and then try and hold that for the first 20, 30 seconds if you can.
D Campbell here
well above
caught.
threshold for the first few.
Look, we're all the way past them. I think me and Ross have a slight delay of a couple of seconds. That's why we're talking over each other here. We'll just have to work that out.
This course tonight, there's a wee, as you leave the start pen, there's a wee bit of a rise the riders are on at the moment. It's not much, it only goes up to about 3%, but if you're not in the middle of the group, it can really stretch the group out, and if you lose the draft and Swift, it's good night.
Yep.
You're not sitting in the front again.
Definitely.
Unless you're super strong.
So the handicaps, Ross, 3 minutes and the C's are off.
They are tonight. Yeah, it's going to be tough for the D group to stay away tonight. It's quite a hilly circuit. There's two, like I say, there's one main climb. If anyone's ridden Swift before, it's a starting climb of the epic KOM. But once you get across the bridge, about a quarter of the way up it, normally the epic climb continues on for about another 15 minutes or so. Right. But this here, we're going to hang a left just before we go up the epic KOM. And it's a new road on Swift. This course was only launched in the December update. Yeah. So if you haven't updated your Swift account, do so. You'll be able to ride this road. It's actually a really nice road to ride around on.
I don't think I've ever ridden it.
I've ridden it a couple of times. I've never raced on it. I was riding around and some of the guys were on Discord talking and they said, oh, this doesn't make a good race course. And I went, all right, it's got a hill. Maybe not. Not for me.
Yeah, there's lots of guys hate the hills.
Anything over a minute. Oh, I know. I'm one of them. That's it. Anything over a minute and a half, and I'm out the back.
Right, where are we? 6.1 watts per kilo here.
That's big wattage for a D rider. Standard D category is up to 2.4 watts per kilo. So anybody pushing that watts is obviously in the wrong category. So we'll maybe jump back a wee bit and see.
I'm just going to flick back until I can see D or C riders. Sorry. So there's the first C rider. So they've made up 30 seconds already to the last rider in the D.
That's quite a gap already.
Yeah.
Out of the start time.
We have to wait 5 minutes till the B's start.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see the mix of riders as well in the D category. There's I just noticed in the start list there's a Kevin Walsh signed on. He's racing tonight. He's riding for Blarney Cycling Club. Like that's obviously right down the south of the country. So it's not just guys in Ulster racing tonight. There's guys from all over Ireland, which is great to see.
Just hang with these leaders here for a while, see what they're doing. Heart rate's up high there, 181.
Mr. Andy Flannery, I know him well, right, for Phoenix
yes.
Cycling Club.
We'll give him a ride on.
Me and him go way back. Me and him go way back. I remember riding the Tour of the North back in the mid-90s with Andy, and myself and him and I think Paul Kane at the time got up the road in the break one day, and the both of us were fit for nothing. We were hanging on, making up the numbers basically, and the break stayed away. And the three of us got like I think a top 10 or top 15 in the stage. But then the next day, in the first 3K, I think all three of us went out the back. I came in about 30-40 minutes down in the winner lap the next day stage, for goodness sake. So it's great to see Andy on Swift giving it a rattle.
Anyone else here?
Let me see, who else is there? I see Emma Roberts racing there in the D category.
There we go there.
It's great to see Emma. She's from the Titanic Quarter Cycling Club. Emma's husband actually races as well. I think he's in the C category. Like Collie Roberts as well. Going well. It looks like the D group have bunched up well here, so...
Yeah, there's nobody flying off. The aim of the game, stay together, stay away.
Yeah, very much so.
Go back here and see where the C's are. A few guys on our own here. Still 2 minutes, sir. 2 minutes 30.
It's funny as it obviously it takes there's a wee bit of a lag in when the starts go basically. So by the time the groups get up to speed, I know the gap was it 2 minutes or 3 minutes? 3 minutes was it at the start tonight
Between D and C, 3 minutes.
So
yes.
Yeah, so the C's are eating into that gap already. So they are that, and they haven't even hit the climb yet. Looks like.
Have a wee group away here on their own. Yeah, roughly 7 seconds away from the next group.
I'll see it's a guy from my club there as well, and the D category, Ronnie Andrews. Great to see him on Swift.
There we go. Oh, he's in the chase group.
I think I lost kind of.
And we have lost Ross, I think. You there, Ross?
Yes, here.
Just back.
A wee bit of.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Got you now.
Brilliant. It must be that Wi-Fi. Where are you, Bangor?
I am.
It must be that old Wi-Fi down in Bangor.
Just saying, it looks like the A riders have left the start pens as well there now. So
they had
they're on the
7.
road. That's all.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. It sounds quite a lot, but the standard in the A riders
Yeah.
is unbelievable. Like, some of the guys are really, really fit. Like, really fit.
Any name dropping for A riders?
Guys, look out for tonight. You've got obviously Lindsay Watson. He's probably one of the strongest riders in Ireland, and on the road basically. But he's
Definitely.
taken well to Swift. Well, another rider to look out for is Nathan Keown. Young rider, basically, really, really good talent. So he is very young still, but I think, was it last year? Not last year, the year before, he was still a junior.
Yeah.
And he took the yellow jersey in the Junior Tour of Ireland that year, which was a phenomenal ride. Because one of the riders riding that year went on to win the World Championships in Harrogate in Yorkshire, and he now rides for Trek
Brilliant.
Pro Tour team, Quinn Simmons. So Nathan was able to mix it with that sort of standard. So he was. We've got the mountain bike Supremo, Glenn O'Brien in the A group as well tonight.
Is he on his mountain bike?
Mr. Fast Track. I don't know about that. He might need a mountain bike for the wee gravel road after the climb.
I'm just looking down now, and we're down to 1:10 between the D's and the C's, so they're making up good ground.
Well, I think they might come together just before the top of the climb then, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's roughly that there, because there's 3 groups. 3 guys away here now, 3 seconds. They're on the climb now, 4%, so it's obviously splitting them all up.
I think this is just after the Italian village. There's a wee Italian village you go through on this course, and then you hang a right at the top of this wee climb, so doing a short kicker. There's still a few kilometres to go before we reach the main climb. I think the main climb starts 8.5 kilometres into the race for the D group.
Okay.
So we've done about 6 kilometres
yeah.
now. Yeah, so there's a wee bit to go before the climb starts. That's the thing about this course. Normally when you hit a climb, you've got a nice descent straight after. With this circuit, there's no descent straight after it. It's a real hard couple of kilometres. It's a false flat. The road meanders up and down a wee bit.
Right.
So when after the massive effort of climbing, there's no let up. You're still on the gas for another 2 or 3 Ks. And then eventually you'll hit a long descent. Hard left-hander across the bridge, and then there's about a 1.5 kilometre descent. You can get a short break. Not many people know about it on Swift, but if you keep an eye on your speed, if you go above 57 kilometres per hour and you're on a downhill greater than 3%, if you stop pedaling, your avatar will go into like an arrow tuck, a bit like Chris Froome sitting on the top tube sort of thing. But it means you keep up with the speed and you get sucked along. You get a wee short rest. It's important to get your rest in these races, Flips. It's because you're constantly, it's not like outside, but you're sort of coasting along. You're constantly on the power on Swift, so you are compared to riding outside.
Bit of insider information there.
Oh no.
Right, let's see where
what
we
about
are.
your own experience in Swift, Mark? What's it?
I only started
been
this April, I think it was. I always had a smart trainer, but I used Trainer Road, so never really bothered too much with Swift. Started in April. I think it's brilliant. I'm out here most mornings, sort of 5:30, 6 a.m.
It really has. It's been a godsend for a lot of people over the lockdown period as well.
Especially when it's icy outside as well, like last weekend or the past 2 weekends. You just jump in a group ride on Swift and talk away to people from all over the world, and the time doesn't belong going in.
Very true. There's so much availability. When you go onto the Swift Companion app and click events, it's frightening. You can basically ride a race or ride a group ride every 4 or 5 minutes if you wanted to.
Yes.
There's so much availability.
See now, there's a few sea riders.
It's quite nice. Oh right, okay. I'm starting to catch now.
Yeah. Down here we go now. We'll just go back to the seas and see what we're doing. Richard Khan, we know him.
Seas are moving rightly. There's some very strong sea riders. There's some guys in C that shouldn't be in C as well.
There's
but
a
not
few A
mentioning
riders
names.
amongst the C's.
I think Swift are working on an anti-sandbagging feature, and the sooner they get it, the better. Because some of the guys thinking, oh no, I'll just go and do an easy ride, and they end up sitting on the front and just destroying the race, and just ruining the race. Unfortunately, for some of the standard guys who are in the lower categories.
Just make our way back up to the lead group here and see what's going on.
Some of the C riders to keep an eye out for during the race tonight is probably one of the two of the strongest guys I know of in the C category is Gregory Gout. Gregory rides for North Down Cycling Club, but he's originally from France, so he is.
Right.
He races predominantly on Swifts, and he's strong as an ox, so he has really good sprint. He's a really good 30-second 1 minute power man. So the wee shorter hills really do suit him. He can, even with his weight, he's a big guy himself. He's over 90 kilos. So he can fairly fly up the hills, the short hills anyway.
There he is.
Another guy, Gary Scott.
Eke out. There he is.
Yeah. He'll be near the front of the group so well. Gary Scott as well. Rides for the Ireland team on Swift. I've seen his name pop up in quite a few races. He's up there in the Cycling Ireland League too.
Yep, find him also. G. Scott's on your screen.
Yeah, I think he was first C rider last week around the Champs-Élysées. He seems to be a very strong rider.
What about previous winners? Did you see them in the entry list? I think I only seen Ronan Bloomer, maybe. Not sure if they're both here.
Yes, I seen his name. He said he's a B rider now, so he is. He won the first round in the Wactopia Flat. I think he was second on the Champs-Élysées. I don't know him myself personally, but he seems very, very strong. And looking at his profile stuff, he seems to come from like an athletics background.
Right.
Which is what you find quite a lot on Swift. Guys aren't predominantly cyclists.
It's one of your pals on the screen now, Rick Hanna.
Rick Hanna, yeah. Rick's obviously one of the guys helps runs the TUZ. The Silster Swifters, basically. Rick's a great guy. He's so much into the techie side of the things as well. Him and Pierce basically keep to do with all the Swift power and correlating all the results and so on. But them guys, this wouldn't be possible to do, guys. So we'll give them a big ride on if you're watching on the screen.
Give them a ride on right now.
Yeah. Rick's a good racer himself. We came in together last week in the Champs-Élysées and he ripped the legs off me coming the last couple of kilometres. I had to bust a gut just to get around him in the sprint. So it looks like the C's are just about to hit the climb. This is the climb looming in front, and you can see the D riders in front of them as well.
Yeah. Let's see what position these guys are on the road, because it's easy to get mixed up here.
So there's the C's catching the D's now.
Yeah.
This is right in the foot of the climb.
We'll go up to the front here and just see. We'll follow.
This lap they're doing tonight, it's 19 kilometers a lap, so it is. So we're going to do 1.5 laps roughly. And this last time up this climb, the finish line will be at the top of it. So we're going to have a hilltop finish tonight.
So the finish line's on the top of this hill they're on now?
It will be. As you get up the climb, you'll see there's a big suspension bridge. And the finish line should be around the middle of it somewhere. It's not your standard finish line tonight. They had Swift use, you explain it's like a ghost line.
Yes.
It's blue. It's like a hologram sort of color, if you know that makes sense, basically.
I know exactly what you mean, yes. Just trying to see who's pushing big numbers here up this climb. If there's anybody in the red.
I seen Gregory Gout put a comment on the Facebook page during the week there that he wasn't too sure what way to approach this because it is such a tough climb. Do you go flat out and try and stay with the front group, or do you basically try and, obviously being a heavier rider, trying to pace yourself in the climb, drop back a bit and wait for one of the faster groups coming through afterwards, which will probably happen.
So what do you think? Are the A's going to catch?
I think that tonight on this course, the A's are going to dominate. I could be wrong. The last two rounds, the A's have got very, very close on flat courses. They were 20 seconds both weeks behind the win from making the catch, basically, and that was on flat courses.
Yeah.
So I reckon with this course and times 2 climbs, it's going to be very tight, very, very tight.
Yeah. I know there's a few A riders there that like a climb as well.
Very much so. All the stick insects.
Yeah.
With really high watts per kilos, which I'd never see them again. Maybe 20 years ago. Not anymore.
Let's see if I can
So
see
you can
any.
see across the suspension bridge now.
Yeah, just what we're on now.
The guys are on. Yeah.
I'm just
So
trying
the
to
finish line should be around the middle of this, roughly.
filter back to see if I can see any bees. There's a bee.
The A group, I'm just looking at my screen, the A group have just hit the bottom of the climb, so that's how far back they are.
Right. This
And
guy's
they're
obviously
catching
strong.
the tail
Here.
enders off the B. Yeah, this guy's pushing B category, 5 watts per kilo. That's quite high. There's Chris Cameron, he's just caught there. Kidding cycles.
There he is, the main man. I know he's watching the stream as well.
You can see the old heart rates.
Chris, look at the
Chris's heart rate's up at high 180. That's frightening high. He's obviously on the limit here.
Once he sees he's on camera here, he'll pull out a sprint, 10 watts per kilo.
You can tell the guys who have their trainer difficulty set up where it should be, around about 50% up to 100%. When they hit the climbs, their cadence will drop, unless they got a really, really high ratio gears on their turbo, basically.
Yeah. Let's see. MBs are obviously taking up here. We'll drop back and find some A's.
Yeah, go for it. A few other A riders to keep an eye out for tonight. Daniel Daly, another local guy from Belfast, rides for the Phoenix Cycling Club. He's been regular on our Wednesday night rides for a long, long time, so he has. Real strong guy. I remember riding one of the WTLR, is it the time trial leagues on Swift, as a team time trial.
Yeah.
There's myself, Daniel, Big Gregory, and Mr. Thomas Evans. Needs no introduction. A lot of people know who he is.
The man, the myth,
Just
the
the
legend.
4 of us. It was, yep, the man himself. It was around the Innsbruck circuit, which is like a replica of the World Championships in Innsbruck a few years ago. The wee short circuit they use. And there's a short climb on it called the leg snapper, or leg breaker. It's called. So it's only about a minute's worth of effort, but it's tough.
Yeah.
And obviously Tommy and Daniel, both A riders, myself and Gregory, were B/C sort of standards. So it was a big effort for us, and you needed 3 riders to finish. It was 4 laps around the circuit. First time I hit the climb, I thought my heart was going to jump out of my chest. I was going that deep. Second time I hit the climb, we just about hung on. Next round around the last lap, or I think it was the 3rd lap, Gregory the distance. It was before, I can't even remember. It was all a blur to me that night. But Gregory the distance means I had to hang in. I couldn't get dropped. And I think the last time up, I did get distance, but the guys waited on me on the descent, and I got back on, and I was swinging. I came across the line and tasting blood and everything. It was the worst experience of my life. I think the only good bit out of it was I got an FTP increase from sitting on the wheels. So thanks, Daniel and Tommy, you bollocks.
So these air riders are trucking. Darnell Moore obviously here. I did see Kevin Lynch.
Kevin Lynch, another strong guy on Swift.
Yeah.
A great ride on the road as well. I've raced with Kevin for a lot of years, and one of the most honest riders I know on the road. If you get into a break with Kevin, You never have to ask for him to ride through. He's normally shouting at me to ride through because I'm normally the one hanging on. Like, but great guy, great guy. Super strong and swift as well, which is great. And he seems to be doing a lot of training on Swift just with the bad weather and the lockdown and so on. So great to see him out there,
There's
banging the
Lindsay.
head off the handlebars,
Taking
putting the
off.
effort in.
Yeah, Lindsay's
So it looks
just
like they've
riding
hit
through
this
everyone
this
here.
this rolling road, basically straight after the climb. You'll probably notice there's riders everywhere here now.
Yeah. There's Big Jerry. In the right category this week?
Lost it.
Lost Ross again. You there? Trying to get Ross back here. Yeah, the Wi-Fi in Bangor must be really bad. That's twice now we've lost them. You back? Any joy, Ross?
Can you still hear me, Mark?
I can hear you.
I'm back again.
Nice
Internet dropouts, the joys.
one. Yeah.
The sooner you sort my laptop out, the better. I know Nikki, my wife's watching, so this is why I want the laptop updated.
Plug in an Ethernet cable as well. No more dodgy Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'm just going to
True,
make
very
my way
true.
back up to the front here, see what's happening.
I just know on my screen that the B group have hit the descent now. I'm just watching the guys in the aero tuck.
Yeah, so there's roughly, I think, between what I'm looking at and what is live, around 20 seconds.
Right, okay.
Oh no, clicked on myself. That's how easy it is. I had to pull that back round. Let's see where we are here. This
Some
is
other
obviously-
riders in the D group to look out for.
That's league group there, so
for
we still have
tonight.
C's.
C's are leading, are they?
C's and B.
Yeah,
C's
they
and
are.
B's
C's
a
are still in
mixture.
the lead.
Can't be that far now.
That's a strong ride from some of the B riders to get across that group
Yeah.
on the first hill.
See the way it just has me sitting at the top here? Just click on that and it's back to the
Yeah.
starting pen. Just go down here and see how far the A's are away.
I'm with the front group here basically. There's Bertie Bassett, who's in the front group. We all know who that is. Conrad Kettles, Paul Toner, Adam Ward, young Adam. I think he's still in the schoolboy ranks, so he is. But great wee rider, very very strong. Gary Scott, I mentioned before, is up there. Gregory Goud's there. Nigel Watt. Quite a few strong C riders. We've got a couple of Bs mixed in there too, so that's some ride they get across in that climb.
Yeah, the
P
A riders
Ritchie,
aren't
I
far.
see as well.
I think they'll definitely catch. We're just coming up, and then Chris Cameron there. You're about to get caught again.
Yeah, it looks like there's a B group. There's another rider to look out for tonight. Young rider as well, young Carl Rocket. This finish should suit him. He's very, very light. So we fly up the hill.
He's only a young lad, isn't he?
Still hear me, Mark?
Yeah. Can you hear me? I don't think you're hearing me.
I can, yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? You turn your sound off?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Good. Jay Henry has to be Joe. Yeah, the A's are going to catch for sure. I think that's the lead group up in front there. There's Kevin. So he's sitting.
Yeah, I'm just watching them myself, so yeah.
Yeah. So I'm also controlling the views that you see. So I press a number key on the keyboard here. Change whatever view.
Yeah.
Go to the helicopter.
You're in the tunnel, you're not going to see much.
No.
They're underwater. I guess with the front group here myself, and there's a mixture of C and B rider, or C and B riders together. You got young Carl Rocket. He's in the B group tonight. He's a very, very strong. He's actually the current Ulster under 13 road race champion.
Under 13.
So the finish should suit him because he weighs about 4 bags of sugar, so he'll fly up the climb. Oliver Harkin here from Prime Coaching as well, another strong B rider, good climber, so he should be right up there near the finish if this group stays away.
There's the lead group now. So what have we left? About 12k to go.
Yeah, it's not far to go basically. We're just sort of approaching where they started from in downtown Watopia at the moment. They'll go past the starting pens and then set out for the last half a lap.
Yeah, them guys weren't long catching tonight.
No.
Who picked the course for tonight? You?
Handicap a little bit more generous. It was me. I picked all, the majority of the courses. For the league, itself, the 8 rounds. I spent a few hours going through old Swift Power results, trying to work out the handicap. Some of the courses. It's a good mixture. There's some flat ones. There's some hilly ones, and the last course they're all sort of around that 45-minute, sort of 30k bracket. So they are. But the last one for the grand finale, it's a big course, the out and back circuit. If anybody's ridden that on Swift, it's about 42 kilometers, and you take in 2.
Oh, we've lost you again.
Top of the reverse KOM, it's not over yet. You've another, say, 3.5 Ks flat to the finish. So for a standard C rider on Swift, you're talking about
Still there? We keep losing audio from you, Ross, I think. I can't hear you in my ears.
I can hear you now, so
Okay.
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yep. see. Who have we got? Lindsay Watson. Who else is here? Trying to find our Glenn. Where is he? He must be in that group. There's still a big bunch of A's. Haven't made the league groups yet. There's Glenn there.
I've got you back now, Mark.
You just keep dropping in and out.
It looks like this CB group's still away.
Yeah.
It looks like the CB group is still away. Another strong rider in the C group who's also in the front group tonight is Podrick Dugan from Carn Wheelers.
Has to be him there.
That's Nathan, yes. The front group is at 21.6 kilometers into the race, so not far to go.
I'm just trying to. It's really easy to get lost here. I'm guessing Nathan Keown's on the front, obviously. Keep dropping out sound here. We're not up to Eurosport level just yet.
I see you're following young Nathan Keown now. This front group seems to be quite big now.
See, I don't think that is the front. Well, I suppose these guys are maybe lapping.
I've got them up on my screen here. You've got a couple of strong A riders have made it across. Gary Walker, Nathan Keown, Lindsay Watson, Pete McLean. Pete McLean from Mars Cycling Club was the first guy from Ireland to hold the Everstring record at the start of lockdown, so he was.
Right.
Did it on the Wicklow Gap. And trust me, he's no climber. He's not mind me saying that either. But he's as strong as an ox. He's an A rider on the road, so he is, but he's absolutely strong in an ox. Very good swifter as well.
So, you can obviously see my screen, Ross.
It should be quite an exciting finish here.
Definitely. Lindsay's riding on the front now. They're obviously coming up the lap, these riders.
Yeah, I think that what do you call it? The front groups come together. There's A's, B's, and a few strong C's left in this group. They're not far away from the final climb here to the finish. I don't see last week's winner or the week before, Justin Bloomer, in this front group now. The climb might have been a bit much for him.
Just going down now to see if I can see any of these guys.
You're just approaching the Italian village here for the last time. There's a wee bit of a climb up out of it, so there is. So you might see a few people getting detached before we even get to the main climb. The speed seems to be very, very high. There's only, I think there's 16, 17 riders in this front group.
Yeah.
All the guys in this front group will probably be some of the best climbers in the race, so it'll be interesting to see. See Jonathan Taylor from North Down Cycling Club. He's in this front group. That's a great ride from him.
There's Aaron Parks, Banbridge.
You see Lindsay Watson heading towards the front. Yeah.
So yeah, they're sitting on about 2% climb
The Napa
now.
group here in front. Looks like. Yeah, this is the wee climb up for the Italian village, so it is. It seems to be well stretched out. There's a couple of guys seemingly going off the front here. Guys are sitting high, 5 watts per kilo, 6 watts per kilo. You've just caught a wee group. They've lapped this group by the looks of
I
it.
think they have lapped them, yeah. It's a bit hard to tell. Roughly 4k to go, so we're not far away.
No, not far at all. Going to hang a right here. It'll be a bit of a downhill. It's sort of the last part of recovery before you hit the main climb to the finish.
It's the lead rider here. What's his name? What Bombs?
What the?
Yeah, socks for watts. Watt Bombs.
Socks for watts.
Right, we'll keep an eye on Lindsay here. And who else have we got in the lead group here? That we know. Nathan Mullen.
It seemed to have split that last wee climb out of the Italian village. There's a wee group just behind now. At a handful of seconds.
Yeah.
8 seconds the gap is, so there's a front group away.
This is the lead group I'm with now.
It is, yeah. Lindsay Watson driving it on the front.
Yeah, he's gone. Or at least having a go.
There's a few orange numbers being pulled. So when your watts per kilo on the right hand side in the rider list, when that turns orange, that means you're putting a big effort in.
Roughly 2Ks.
G Walker up here as well from Northern Ireland. Yeah, you should be able to see the hill in front now. Not far from it. This is a strong front group. This is the first time since the TUZ Chase Race has started that the A group have actually made the cut, so it's good to see. Just shows you throw one hill into the equation and it just totally splits the race to pieces. Another young rider in this front group, Nathan Mullen. I think he's from Donegal, don't quote me on that now, but he's a very, very strong young rider as well. Be interesting to see who's going to be the strongest up this final climb and what way they approach it.
We'll stick with these guys. I was going to go back there and see.
It's about... Yeah, this is probably...
These guys are away.
I would stay here just to see who... This is going to be the winner is going to be from this front group.
Lindsay again riding away. bombs. Here's putting in a big dig.
In the chase group behind, you know, a really strong rider is Fraser Duncan. Fraser represented the Northern Ireland Commonwealth Games in Glasgow a few years back.
Here we go, 8%.
Yep, this is the climb kicked in now.
Yep. You want to see a lot of orange and red
Looks like
over here.
Pete McLean's launched the. Yeah, Pete McLean's went for it, 8.7 watts per kilo. There's a long way to go to the finish, so he's hit out early. Looks like young Carl Rockets in second, trying to chase him down.
He's got a decent wee gap.
Yeah, he has. He's really went for it. He's going deep. The watts per kilo sort of leveled off now a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like Lindsay Watson's just holding the firepower back.
Yeah.
Just following wheels.
So
go around this corner, kicks up, the percentage kicks up. You watch top or right hand, or 6, 10, 13% it's up to now. So obviously the turbo train will be replicating the gradients as you go up. And you can see the suspension bridge in the distance. The finish should be very close to it.
I think we've less than a
Big Peter's got a 3-second lead here on this Watt Bomb fella. Not too sure. I think he's an English rider now.
Just trying to work out the best view so we can
Nathan
see.
Kuhn, third on the road. Oh, it's very close.
Yeah.
Pete's only got a second now. And they're going for it now. Red numbers, must be a finish line coming up.
They're all in the red.
Looks like Pete's held on for the win, has he?
I think he has.
Yeah, they're going for it. Yeah, it looks like Pete McLean, Arts Cycling Club, gets the win. Nathan Kuhn second.
I've never seen the
If you log
imaginary
over
finish
in
line.
about 20 minutes or so. No, it won't pop up, unfortunately, on our view. You need to be in the race properly
need to
to
be in the
see
race
the
to
finish
see it.
line. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But it seems to be right in the middle of the bridge there. That was a good ride by Pete McLean.
Yeah, he took the win.
I say there'll be riders stretched out all over the road here for the next 15 minutes, I reckon.
Yeah. It's not even telling me positions now, so I don't know where we are. I think we'll end it there, Ross. You there?
It's a hard finish, this. Really hard finish. Yes, I'm here, yep.
I think we'll end it there, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great race. Good to watch, so it was. God, I wasn't riding.
So that's why you wanted to join me?
Exactly. Anything over 30 seconds to a minute, I'm gone.
Right. Thanks, that's us done.
Thanks very much, Mark.
No worries.
Appreciate
Thanks for
you doing
coming
this.
on. If I was here on my own, there wouldn't have been a lot of
Great
talking,
stuff.
so brilliant.
Not a problem at all.
Take it easy.